In the vast emptiness of space, where stars hang like scattered diamonds upon a velvet blackness, the starship Odyssey glided through the void with the elegance of a sleek, metallic leviathan. Its hull gleamed under the distant glow of nebulae, thousands of light-years from any known world. Inside, Captain Elara Mendez stood on the bridge, gazing at the endless horizons stretching before her, each speck of light a potential destination, a whisper of hope for humanity's future. Elara's hardened face softened slightly as she looked out the panoramic viewport, but her eyes held the burden of countless souls counting on her crew. The Earth was dying, its resources dwindling like the faint stars behind them, and they, the crew of the Odyssey, were the best scientists, engineers, and explorers, sent to find a sanctuary among the stars. Captain, First Officer Langley's voice broke the silent reverie. His face displayed a mix of excitement and trepidation. "We've received a signal. It's unusual." Interest piqued, Elara turned away from the stars. "What kind of signal? From where?" Langley handed her a tablet. "It's from an uncharted region, a void where we've never detected life or signals before. But, it provides coordinates," he paused, "to a planet that could potentially sustain human life." Elara felt her pulse quicken, a flicker of hope igniting within her. Yet, experience tempered her excitement with caution. "The void?" she murmured. "No one's ever returned from there." The crew exchanged uneasy glances. Elara's mind raced with possibilities. Was this the miracle they needed, or a siren's call leading them to ruin? She knew one thing for certain: the decision she made now could alter the course of human history. Her gaze settled back outside, where stars continued their eternal dance, oblivious to the dilemmas of a tiny ship amidst the cosmic sea. In the heart of the Odyssey, the hum of the engines was a constant companion, a reminder of their fragile existence adrift in the galaxy. Captain Elara Mendez paced her quarters, each step a measure of the conflict warring within her. The signal's promise echoed in her thoughts: a new planet, a new home. It was everything they were searching for, yet doubt gnawed at her resolve. The void was a frontier unexplored, and its mysteries were as likely to harbor peril as potential. Sitting at her desk, Elara leaned forward, resting her forehead on her clasped hands. Her mind was a cacophony of fear, hope, duty, and reason. She thought of her crew, of the billions on Earth whose survival depended on her choices. But if she led them into a trap, the cost could be their lives, and with them, humanity's last chance. A soft chime interrupted her solitude. The door slid open, revealing Kayla Trask, the ship's chief engineer and Elara's closest confidant. "You look like you haven't slept in days," Kayla observed, concern etching her brow. "Feels like it," Elara replied, forcing a smile. "What's really bothering you, Elara?" Kayla asked, taking a seat. "This signal, Kay," Elara confessed, her voice barely above a whisper. "It could be what we need. But it could also be a death sentence. I can't risk all your lives on an unknown." Kayla studied her friend for a moment, then placed a reassuring hand on her shoulder. "Remember why we're out here. If there's even a chance, even a small one, that this signal is genuine, we owe it to everyone to check it out. But it's your call." Elara nodded, appreciating the gentle push. "I just wish I could be sure. That's not the nature of leadership, is it?" Kayla smiled sadly. "It's about making the tough calls, even when you're scared out of your wits. And whatever you decide, we'll stand with you." Elara felt some of the tension release from her shoulders. Her decision was nowhere near made, but the burden felt a fraction lighter shared. She watched as Kayla exited, leaving her alone once more with the stars and her thoughts. Could she put the crew at risk and chase shadows through the void? The answer lay somewhere in the silence of space. Under the soft luminescence of holographic displays, Elara stood amid the Odyssey's command center where Athena, the ship's AI, resided. The AI's core pulsed gently with azure light, a visual heartbeat that resonated with the hum of machinery around them. "Athena," Elara called, her voice firm yet carrying the weight of uncertainty, "I need your analysis on the signal we've intercepted." The AI responded promptly, its voice smooth and calm. Captain Mendez, the signal's origin points to coordinates deep within the void, an area previously deemed devoid of navigable pathways. The signal bears markers suggesting a sophisticated origin. Elara folded her arms, thoughtfully processing the data. Is there any indication of danger or duplicity within the signal itself? Athena's lights flickered as it processed the extensive query, algorithms sifting through myriad possibilities. The signal includes an encrypted substratum, likely a failsafe measure. Its nature is complex but not inherently hostile. Probability of artificial intelligence at its source is high. But Athena, Elara pressed, can we trust it? A pause, then Athena replied, the only certainties lie in the unknown. History shows great risks sometimes yield great rewards. Calculated exploration could advance our mission exponentially. Elara listened, her mind caught between Athena's cold logic and her own fears. She remembered reading tales of explorers charting the vast, empty seas on Earth, wondering if the stars hunted them the way storms and waves once did. Could this be the answer we've searched for? It is a possibility, Athena replied. Abandoning opportunity may result in regret. The words resonated with a truth Elara couldn't deny. Her heart thudded with equal parts anxiety and begrudging excitement. Athena, if we alter course, how significant are the risks to the Odyssey and its crew? The AI hesitated for a fractional moment, an eternity in its computational space. Navigating the void carries risks of unpredictable space phenomena and potential encounters with unknown entities. However, crew capability and ship integrity provide substantial mitigation. Elara inhaled deeply, resolving to share Athena's insights with her team. The AI's counsel did not dispel her fears, but it illuminated the path forward with new clarity. Thank you, Athena, she said, conviction strengthening her voice. As always, Captain, replied Athena. Endeavors worth pursuing often hide in shadows. Elara left the command center, feeling the decision solidifying within her, a burgeoning promise carried on the uncharted winds of the void. She recognized the allure of exploration, where terrifying potential could be the cradle of tomorrow's sanctuary. The command deck of the Odyssey thrummed with an energy that matched the pulse of the stars outside. The crew manned their stations, tension mingling with the thrill of the unknown stretching thick in the air. Captain Elara Mendez stood at the helm, her decision made and her heart steeled for whatever lay ahead. As she surveyed her crew, the ship's artificial gravity grounding her amidst the cosmic currents, Elara felt the room's anticipation intertwining with her own hesitance. Though fear rode close upon conviction, a quiet determination overpowered it, a resolve to lead where few dared. Attention, all hands. Elara's voice resonated through the communication channels of the Odyssey, reaching every corner of their metal home. We're about to alter course toward the coordinates received from the signal. It's an uncharted journey into the void, a place shrouded in mystery and potential danger. She paused, letting the weight of her words settle over them like starlight. I won't promise safety on this path. What I will promise is this, as long as each of us has breath, we will face whatever comes together. A murmur of agreement swept through the crew, voices exchanging firm nods and determined glances. Helmsman Richter adjusted his grip on the controls, muscles taut with readiness. Nearby, Langley recalibrated instruments with precision, while Kayla, her brown eyes fierce, ran through engineering checks on her monitor. Let's do this, Kayla spoke through the intercom, her tone carrying the fire of a shared dream. It was both an assurance and a call to arms. Engage new trajectory, Elara commanded, her resolve hardening like titanium enveloped in starlight. The Odyssey shuddered as its thrusters flared to life, veering away from the known routes into the gaping maw of the void. Stars wheeled around them, galaxies swinging in vast arcs, as the ship transgressed the astral map of their mission plans, embraced by the siren call of the unknown. Stepping forward, Elara's gaze remained fixed on the transparent visors projecting the multicolored expanse beyond. Paramount in her thoughts was the hope of finding a haven capable of nurturing life, a hope that demanded daring acts, tempered by caution and unity. Captain, trajectory is stable," reported Langley, subtly adjusting coordinates. "Navigational charts are generating in real time." "Keep us steady," Elara replied, her voice as solid as the plasteel around her. In the silence that followed, only the soft chorus of electronic signals and the thrum of the engines reached her. She allowed herself a rare indulgence and leaned back in her command chair, feeling the ship's journey as acutely as if it were her bones penetrating the celestial unknown. The first step into the void had been taken. As the Odyssey plunged deeper into the enigmas of the cosmos, Elara didn't know where this path would end, but she was incontrovertibly certain of one truth: there was no turning back. The crew embarked toward destiny together, with hope as their compass and courage their guide. Deep within the heart of the void, the Odyssey traversed a maze of cosmic wonders and haunting challenges, each more profound and perilous than the last. Vast, swirling nebulas painted the viewports with vivid hues of pink and purple, while pulsars flickered like ocular omens against the night canvas of space. Yet, these ethereal ebbs of beauty concealed lurking dangers, and every soul aboard felt the weight of it. Another anomaly ahead, Helmsman Richter spoke, with clipped urgency rippling through his usually calm demeanor. "Shifting gravitational fields, likely linked to the nearby pulsar. Adjust our course, keep away from the epicenter," Captain Elara Mendez ordered, her command steady in contrast to the cosmic storm outside. Her fingers gripped the arms of her chair as she felt the engines strain against invisible currents. With bodies tensed against the unseen forces, the crew maneuvered expertly, navigating pathways that were intangible maps only in their ship's artificial intelligence and intuition combined. Elara watched, pride swelling even amid her unease at the unpredictable nature of their journey. As the ship broke free of the anomaly's pull, a new challenge emerged. The radar pinged sporadically, life forms detected, vessels of unknown origin materializing from the nebula's veil. "Aliens," whispered Emily, a young ensign, her voice a mix of awe and apprehension. "We're not truly alone out here. Open comm channels," Elara ordered, gesturing for Langley to initiate contact. "Let's understand who or what we're facing." The alien crafts shimmered, reflecting prismatic patterns across their metallic surfaces, delicate yet poised with covert intellect. They hovered a cautious distance from the Odyssey, like predators circling new prey. "No response, Captain," Langley reported, concern etching his brow. "Their movements suggest territorial defense, possibly hostility." Tensions spiked, the crew's focus trained on their screens, waiting to discern the aliens' intentions. Kayla flicked quick, practiced glances across engineering readouts, ensuring the Odyssey's shields were at full power. Raising her voice to cut through the tension, Elara declared, "Stand by defensive protocols. No one fires until they initiate." Minutes stretched long and taut as an errant solar flare, but the alien crafts maintained their distance, shadowing without direct confrontation, a silent diplomacy through parallel navigation. Elara exhaled slowly, cautiously optimistic. "Keep observations active. See if their patterns suggest more than curiosity." Eventually, the vessels drifted away, fading into the nebula from whence they came. The Odyssey continued forward, Elara's thoughts heavy with the encounters both behind and still to come. This brush with the unknown fortified them unwittingly, strangers unifying through unspoken vows to protect their own. With each test the void presented, bonds strengthened, and a deep understanding bloomed among them. The Odyssey was no mere ship, it was their shared crucible of resolve. As they voyaged deeper, the mysteries of the void unfolded, each revelation a thread in a tapestry that bore the whisper of a civilization waiting beyond the next starry brink. Whatever lay at their journey's end, Elara knew it would be confronted unflinchingly, an affirmation of the resilience seed within humanity's heart. The Odyssey ventured further, guided by the enigmatic signal which grew stronger with each parsec. It was as if the cosmos itself desired their arrival. Captain Elara Mendez felt a quickening resolve as the source loomed ever closer, a beacon through the murky tendrils of the void. Her command crew peered attentively at their screens, the anticipation nearly palpable as they approached a dense cluster of celestial matter, dark, swirling clouds that shielded all visibility. Beyond lay what they were seeking, the coordinates pointing to a single, unfathomable truth. Sensors indicate the source is within a stable zone within that nebula, Langley announced, monitoring the data closely. Elara nodded, the puzzle pieces aligning in her mind. Bring us in slowly. Let's see what waits for us. Breaking through the final barrier of cosmic dust, the scene that greeted them was awe-inspiring. Amidst the nebula's heart hung a massive structure, alien in design yet resplendent against the backdrop of dark space. It was a tapestry of light and metal, a testament to a civilization long vanished. What is it? Emily gasped, unable to tear her eyes from the view. It looks like a repository, mused Kayla, eyes wide with amazement, a vault of knowledge. Athena, the ship's ever-vigilant AI, interjected, signal origin confirmed. This installation contains a comprehensive database of advanced technologies, potentially including terraforming processes. Elara's heart leapt, then stilled as suspicion laced her relief. It seems too perfect, she cautioned. Why advance such treasures here? The remnants of their final act, Athena theorized, its soft tones echoing with solemnity. Likely a safeguard to pass on their legacy before their extinction. Elara absorbed this, the scale of their discovery expanding, unearthing a deep-seated truth that resonated down to her core purpose. This could be the key to Earth's salvation, promising the rebirth that humanity desperately sought. Begin data transfer, Elara instructed, her voice commanding despite the awe threading through it. Let's see what the extinct have left for the living. As Athena interfaced with the structure, streams of information flooded their servers, holographic screens illuminating the bridge with the dancing lights of 1,000 alien suns. Precaution mingled with longing as they gathered blueprints of forgotten cities, ecosystems, and the blueprints for life revival. This is it, whispered Langley, a smile breaking through his disbelief, our future. Yet Elara, tempered by the wisdom of experience, considered the implications. This gift could as easily be a curse if not treated with respect and understanding. But as captain, she felt an innate duty to harness this legacy with a stewardship worthy of their trust. Chart our course back to Earth, she ordered finally, heart thrumming with renewed purpose. They had the elixir needed to heal their world, a gift from the abyss, bearing the capacity to heal or harm. The Odyssey turned, its hull carving space towards a distant home now aglow with possibility. With terraforming knowledge in hand, Elara vowed to carry forward the torch of those who lit the way, ensuring that their future would honor the civilization that dwelt among the stars. The Odyssey hurled through space, driven by the momentum of hope that had carried them through the void and beyond. Returning from the brink of the galaxy, the starship bore with it the legacy of a civilization that had lived and thrived among the stars, only to fade into legend. Captain Elara Mendez stood on the bridge, the familiar hum of the ship beneath her feet both comforting and reassuring. Her gaze, once filled with doubt and fear, now shone with a new determination, a testament to what they had found and what they would become. Captain, Kayla's voice drew her attention, the chief engineer's own visage echoing the sentiments of their shared journey. We're approaching communication range with Earth. They're going to want a full report. Elara nodded, her heart swelling with a mix of elation and anticipation. Let's give them some good news, she replied with a grin, one hand brushing aside a lock of hair that persistent gravity refused to tame. As the vast blueness of Earth filled their screens, faithfully rotating through the span of years and instances in which the ship had been clawing its way across the stars, Elara felt a kinship, a tether unraveling and reweaving itself as they closed the stellar distance. Signal Earth, she directed, her voice imbued with the strength earned from venturing into the unknown. Langley keyed in the transmission codes, his fingers an efficient blur over the panels. Earth Command, this is Captain Elara Mendez of the Odyssey. We've returned. There was a brief pause, then static resolved into a familiar voice, steeped in the hopeful tones of Administration Secretary Tamari. Odyssey, this is Earth Command. Report your status and findings. Elara breathed in deeply, each word charged with the weight of celestial effort and existential revelation. We've discovered a repository of advanced technology, Elara declared, including methods for terraforming. Humanity's future is within our grasp. The bridge erupted in a mix of cheers and relieved laughter. The transmission sparked with excitement, a shared enlightenment permeating through the exchange like wildfire. Captain Mendez, Tamari's voice brimmed with barely restrained jubilance, you've achieved what many thought impossible. Your journey has changed the fate of our world. Hearing the words vocalized brought an unexpected calm over Elara. Her mind flashed back to every harrowing turn, the trials faced, and the lessons learned in the crucible of the void. She felt the presence of her crew beside her, each solar thread in the unbreakable fabric of their odyssey. We did it together, Elara responded, certainty shading her voice. We'll begin assimilation of the information and work very closely in its application. Our benefactors among the stars entrusted us with their legacy, it will be our honor to pay it forward. The Odyssey continued its silent dive toward the home they ached to embrace once more. As Earth appeared within reach, a fragile ball harboring both dreams and decay, Elara knew the story of the human race would be rewritten, a narrative steeped in resilience, discovery, and ever-burning hope. Through the vast corridors of the ship, aboard the vessel that resided at the forefront of miracles, each member carried within them the profound strength of shared purpose. From the heart of the void, they'd brought back more than technology, they'd reclaimed a future worthy of the stars. And so, guided by the stars they'd come to know so well, the Odyssey returned, no longer just a ship, but a messenger of salvation at the nexus of time, courage, and the bridge they built among the